Welcome everyone to our in-depth education for today. My name is Tanya Cross and we have the next 20 minutes or so together and we are going to look at this new topic, which is create your model. This is essentially being able to uncover like the journey that your clients can go through that's going to help not only build trust with your clients, but also showcase your expertise. So we're going to have that journey together today, and so we're going to cover three parts to that. So one is trust is built. It's the first part. We're going to see how problems define solutions, and then we're going to look and have a deeper dive into your genius framework and all the different types of models that can be applicable for the coaching journey. So in the session today, we are actually going to be doing two live sessions, which will help you create space and time, so 4 hours altogether, for you to be able to build your own model with both Justin and myself and the rest of the Maximum Growth Academy people. So if this is something that you feel like you resonate with, it's something that you would love to come and join us, then please just comment workshop below and we will get this to you and we'll get you all the information. Come in and join us for this little look into the community, but also very productive and very action orientated workshop for you. So for today, we are going to have a look at the model and creating your model. So essentially coaching, if you look at like the definition of coaching, it's actually from being able to create value from one individual to another. And so this is like a super simple and a very profound idea that essentially you're helping an individual move from whatever their current state is, depression, anxiety, they're feeling not enough, or they're struggling in their finances, their relationship, there's some kind of challenge that they're going through, and you get them to help them with a pathway to be able to get them to where they want to be. And that's essentially what coaching is. It's our ability to be able to move someone from where they are to where they want to go, and we have a skill set to be able to do that. And so we want to be able to also be able to see that coaching isn't just about asking questions. It's not just about sitting there and asking another question, actually creating a structured pathway for growth. And so if someone says, I want to have an amazing relationship, well, what is the pathway to have an amazing relationship? If they want to build their finances and grow in their finances, what's that pathway look like? And so a coaching model is essentially going to give that structured framework, a map that is essentially going to guide both you as a coach and also the client from start to end. And so it sometimes feels really overwhelming journey. But when someone paints a picture and describes where you're at and describes what the middle part of your journey is going to be like and can tell you, well, this is also going to happen as well, and it happens, and then they've got action steps that can help you move through it and transition through it, then the one not only showcases your expertise in the depth of the problem and what the resolution of the problem, but it's also going to help you with your income and your revenue, because they're going to know, like, trust you, and as a result of that, they're going to be able to pay because they know that you have the solution to their problem. And so there are lots of different frameworks that are out there. You may have heard of one that is used often, and it's called the Demartini method. That's essentially a framework. It's a framework of structured questions that help you to help your client to dissolve emotions and achieve the outcome of gratitude and love, get them to open their heart, be able to appreciate a deeper divine perfection in the universe. And so it's also repeatable, so you can take the Demartini method and use it for many different clients. And so that's what we want with our models, that we can use it across a lot of different clients, not just one client. So let's look into trust is built. So if you would love to come and build your model with us, please just type in workshop below and we'll get the details to you. Come in and join. We're going to build this framework for you. So let me tell you why it's so important. So as humans, we thrive and we thrive on clarity. We, especially when we're in these really difficult circumstances and difficult moments, we're going to thrive on having clarity. It's going to bring us certainty. It's going to know what our next decision is. It'll know what our most purposeful step is to take action on and get it resolved, because we don't want to live in this inner turmoil or challenge. We want to find a resolution out of it. And so one of the primary benefits of a coaching model is that it offers a lot of clarity for the individual. So if you imagine that uncertainty within a client, when they feel they're about to embark on a journey, it may be confusing, it may be stalling their start time because it's too much, they're not sure of what their next most purposeful step is. But with a well-crafted model, it's going to give this, like, say, like a torchlight that shines the light for them. So instead of seeing this intense, like, I don't even know how to get out of here, you just show them the next step, and then the next step, and then the next step. So you've got your torch there. And so it's going to create more confidence in the client just knowing what the next most purposeful step is. And so essentially, you want to know that to know yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. But what happens if it is also then to know your clients is the beginning of transformation? So when we try and we've maybe been too broad with our client base and where our niche is way too wide, then it's really difficult to know that journey of transformation for them, because you have so many different clients with so many different problems. This is one of the upsides of niching, is that you really do get this opportunity to just sit in that journey that someone's going to go through, because you know that particular niche so well. So you get to really understand and really deep dive into the clients, and you get to know that beyond their goal that they want, what's a lot of these hidden challenges and barriers, and what do they really essentially need to break through in order for them to achieve their end result. So us at Maximum Growth, Justin and I have spent a lot of time just really nutting out a lot of the problems and challenges, and we've been able to look at the journey from an individual who is in another job and wants to start a business as a coach, and then all the way to someone who's been in the business for 15 years, and then they've realized, I need to change, or I need to refine, I need to pivot my business, and then helping them. And so there's essentially stages that everyone goes through. Their fear of the unknown. What if I can't make money? Not having structured enough time during their day to get things done, doing work and feeling like I just need to be inspired by the work that they do. Many coaches go through the same thing. It's like struggling to articulate what it is that their message is. And so what we want to be able to do is know their journey so deeply, because what that does is it builds trust. And essentially, trust is a massive factor in the coaching dynamic, because when someone trusts you, when they feel that you are dependable and trustable, is that a word? Okay, we'll take it, that they're then going to be able to rely on you and know that there's an outcome, and they're going to be willing then to pay for that. Because if you know that the journey, and you can fast track that journey because you know what are the most important steps that they need to take, they'll pay money for that, because it's also speeding up their healing journey as well. So it's going to create clarity and direction. It's going to create predictability, because when a new coach comes to me, or a coach has been coaching for a while, and they start talking to me, I can already see in the placement of all the content that I have in my head and all the journey that they're on from start to finish, then I already can see where they're at in their journey and what they need to work on. And so it's really beautiful to be able to then tag a client's response to a bit of content that inside of the model that I know that they'll be helpful to be able to share. So it's really beautiful. So we want to be able to have that model to be able to build trust. It's especially amazing if you've checked out our Maximum Growth Academy on our website, and we explain our model that we do. So you get to watch that and see that journey. And so then you get to go, actually, that I feel like you're speaking to me. So that's what it does, is builds this beautiful, the client feeling very understood. So if you'd love to come and build your model, please just type in workbook below and we will get the details to you to come in and join us for a very inspiring 2 classes for building out your model. So the next part that we want to cover is problems define solutions. And so essentially a client is coming to you and into coaching. They tend to have an outcome of what they want. Sometimes it's a very subjective outcome. I just want to feel better. We have to try to make that more tangible. Like, what does that look like? If it's financial success, what does that look like? If it's advancement in your career, what does that look like? If it's personal fulfillment, what does it look like? And so what we want to be able to do we want to be able to see that the deeper issues of the problems that are going on. So imagine that an individual comes to you and they present you with a problem. And so let's say what you see is this tree, and they're like, I've got a problem. It's not flowering, this tree, and it's not doing what it should do, and it's kind of looking a little bit limp, and it's looking a little bit lifeless. And you're like, okay, let's just like see what we can do. We'll just like work on the stuff. We'll maybe trim it down. We'll just look at the tree a little bit. Maybe we'll give it some healing love, maybe a little bit of water. But you don't really go down into the roots. What's actually happening underneath? Maybe there's concrete underneath and then it actually has nowhere to go. The roots underneath it. Maybe there's problems. Maybe there's something inside the soil that's actually creating the issue. And so if we don't look at the deeper issue, even though they present with this problem, the tree is not looking so pretty, it's like, how do we actually solve a problem? Sometimes we have to go and look much deeper at the problems underneath the problem that's actually creating and causing the actual problem that they're presenting with. And so we want to be able to essentially have like a problem journey. Like, what are all the problems that an individual is going to go to that come to you in your particular niche that you work with? And so what are the problems they face at phase 1 of their journey, phase 2 of their journey, phase 3 of their journey, phase 4 of their journey? And so we want to be able to see that beautiful kind of evolution of their journey and where did they face. So we can have in Maximum Growth Academy, we can have coaches that come in who have not made a single dollar in their business and just starting, some that are under 10K and some are over 10K per month. And so they come with different problems and they're in different phases. So someone who's at a 20K plus a month has different sets of problems. There may be versus someone who's starting out. But if you're aware of all the problems that they face at the different journeys, you can take someone from 0 money to 20K. You can take someone from 20K to 50K, and you're able to go on that journey with them because you've been able to define the problems really well. And so it's kind of like seeing checkpoints in the journey. It's like, okay, we ticked that one off. Now we're off to the next one. I don't know about you, but for me personally, I love a long-term journey with clients. I don't like I don't mind it, but I prefer a journey where I get to have someone for a long period of time. I find that deeper journey and really going deep with someone in their psyche and their mind and what's really happening and kind of shifting some of the layers is really, for me, super inspiring. Everyone's different. And so a model really allows you to dig deep into the problems at the different phases of life. And so essentially we have one of our classes is this, where we actually help people and coaches to map out all the particular individual niche client, and we get them to map those out. And there's a lot more of a journey than that. It's not just identifying the problem, but there's other processes that we have as well that help you to really know the client inside and out. And it's like, are you speaking to me? And so that's part of the model. In order to be able to map out the journey for them, you have to really understand the problems. And so the last part I want to cover with you today is really around the genius framework. And so this is where you get to shine with your genius that's inside of you. You don't have to keep on learning more. You don't have to know more. You actually have a lot of wealth of information inside of you. And so you have an expertise, you have a perspective, you have a unique knowledge set that no one else has, no one else can copy. And so essentially this is an opportunity for you to create a framework for you to be able to put your information on and then share it with the world. So for example, one of the frameworks I use in terms of helping people inside of finances And the journey they go on is there are 3 phases. And if you imagine a triangle, there are 3 phases in terms of people go through with their journey on with money. First is their attraction to money and being able to attract money. So working through that dynamic. The next is, can they hold their money? So we've gone from attracting to holding their money. Can they hold their money? Can they hold on to it? Are they able to, or does it keep on filtering through their values into something else? And then the next part is grow. So super simple. It's just attract, hold, and then grow when it comes to finances. Let me show you some of the models that are helpful. One model that you will probably be familiar with if you're inside of the personal development world, you would know that there's a Myers-Briggs. And so that's essentially a personality profiling system which helps people to understand which personality framework do they live in when it comes to their expression of who they are. And so there are 16, if you imagine a square, and there's 16 squares, and so it maps out that way. So that's one of the models. Let me show you this one. So we have different ones here. This is one of the models that we have when it comes to you starting with Maximum Growth Academy. And it's really an opportunity for you to go on a journey with your journey as a coach. And so the first one is identity. We go through identity, because in order for you to be able to go build something and build a coaching business, you really do build a business around who you are and the expression of who you are. And so you can't go build a coaching business on someone else's expertise and someone else's inspiration and someone else's knowledge base. It has to come from within, because you're the product, you're the service, and so it has to be identity based. Like because essentially, if you build something that's not identity based, you probably want to burn it to the ground, because it's like, I'm not even being who I am. You want to be paid for who you are. So it's identity based. So we work a lot of dynamics in the early stages around identity when it comes to Maximum Growth Academy. The next is individuality. Oh, let me spell it right. Go back. So individuality is this opportunity now for you to create some difference in the marketplace. Like, how are you different in the marketplace? Because there are so many coaches, and maybe there's so many health coaches or so many financial coaches or so many relationship coaches or mindset coaches in business, whatever your niche is. And there are so many coaches. Like, what makes you an individual in the marketplace? And so no one has your voids, no one has your values, no one has your vision, but what makes you unique? And let's amplify that in the marketplace. I know one of the uniquenesses I have in the Demartini method is I'm one of maybe a few, if not a very small few, of people who've done an average a line a week for 15 years. And so that's an individuality that I can bring out to the marketplace that allows people then to go, well, okay, that's interesting. Maybe I want to come and learn a little bit from that particular individual. So you have to find out what your individuality is. And so the next one is inspiration. So inspiration is something that we want to kind of learn how to tap into. We can't have it all the time, but it's like, what if we're going to build a business, let's build in a business that you go, you know what? I love this business. It's just like, it meets everything that I need and I want and I love, and I'm achieving some great goals and missions. And so being able to then share that out to the world and build a business that you don't want to burn to the ground, that you actually genuinely love, and you love yourself and the expression of you inside of it, is important. And then the next is innovation. So innovation comes with, once we've built, you know who you are, you know your expression in the marketplace, you know where your difference is and your point of difference is, because that's essentially your bank zone. It's where you get to go and make money in that space. You feel inspired, not all the time, 100% of the time, but you feel like, yeah, I'm actually genuinely inspired by what I'm doing. And then there's innovation. Innovation doesn't end. So really, this is like a long journey, innovation. Well, how else can we innovate and make it more refined or more expertise or whatever it is, and sharing it out to the world? So it's like one little like kind of demonstration of a model, and you're like, actually, that's kind of the journey that I'm going on. So we have other models inside of Maximum Growth Academy that we've been able to build. This authority factor is definitely one of those. I'm not going to go through it all now because you have to watch one of their previous videos, but this is a model that we have which helps you to really own your authority. It gets you to look at both your internal and your external world. It gets you to look at how do you remove your masks and be able to express yourself with more certainty? How do you make the greatest impact? And so it's a process and a journey. So instead of being a follower with the work that you do, you become and you birth this leader inside of you. So we've got this journey that you go on. We also have another one which is around the pursuit of perfect, because sometimes we can get a little bit stuck in trying to have things to be perfect, but actually that's not helpful, because when we try to be too perfect, it actually kind of prevents us from being able to move forward. And so that's just a little deep dive into some of the models that we use inside of Maximum Growth Academy. I definitely put my hand up. Sometimes I've created a model and it's been a fail. It's like, well, that didn't really work. And then other times it's like, actually, that's like super beautiful. People have really connected with it and really understood it. And it's like, actually, that explains a lot for me. And so really your models become the legacy of the work that you do. So if we look at Myers-Briggs and we look at the 16 quadrants that you can have with the different personality types, that's a legacy that's going to be here for a very long time, because people are going to remember that. They're going to remember, which one am I? I'm an INFP. Last time I did it. And so it's like, okay, so that kind of gets people to understand who they are through the model. The application of the Demartini method is another model that we have that'll be still here for a long time, that gives you an opportunity to really understand who you are. You want to be able to create the same, to have a model that you can help your clients to be able to have a deeper understanding of who they are, but utilizing the knowledge, the resources, the expertise that you have. And the thing is about your model, no one can copy it. No one can copy it. No one can create it, because no one has your bits of information. No one has your experience and your expertise. No one can copy that. And then when you're doing it because you're inspired, which is why that aspect is important, no one can copy inspiration either. So if this is something that you would love to be able to do, I went for a walk with one of our participants of Maximum Growth Academy, and I just said, hey, I think that maybe you're about relationships and what happens. And we started working out their model, just kind of like a 3-step plan for their model. And instantly, when it clicked for them, we had the words that had mapped out, and that clicked for them. They're like, that's it. Like that's what I'm about. That's what I'm helping people with. And so then every bit of learning that they're about to do from this point onwards, they're like, oh, that fits into that part, that fits into that part, that fits into that part. And so you can tag all the information that you learn, because you have a love to learn. And it's like, okay, now I can see where does that fit in the bigger picture. And then you're able to create content, not just ad hoc, but now it's with purpose, and you know where that fits into the journey for them to get the outcome. Our models also go on a journey. So it can be a 3-year journey, it could be a 7-year journey. It goes on a journey with people. And so it's not just about then serving someone just one time once, but they can go on a deep journey with you, to go on a deep healing journey or transformative journey, depending on what they come to you for, with an outcome that they can tick off and say, yes, I got that. So thank you so much. And so that helps to create more meaning in the coaching that you do. So I hope you loved this session for today. This is Create Your Model. We've had an opportunity to look at how do you go about building trust and how the model builds trust. We've had a look at how do you utilize some of the problems to be able to create and define your solutions, and then also looking at your genius framework. This part does take some work to do, so you do have to sit down, and we are going to have a 4 hours to be able to do that over the next 2 weeks. So if you'd love to come along for those classes, they are recorded, so you do get it dropped in as well. So come along to those classes, but it is a practical step-by-step. We're going to do the work together. We're going to brainstorm together. We're going to come up with ideas. I've already helped build a number of people's models already, and they're definitely off and running with it, completely different inside of business now as a result, being able to have more accountability to the work that they're doing and holding their clients accountable to the different stages that they go on. So if you'd love to come and join us, type in workshop below. I'd love to see you there. So thank you so much, team. I hope that you have a beautiful day wherever you are in the world, and I look forward to seeing you at the next perfect time. Okay, see you. Bye, team.